Hey everyone, Pesmori here and welcome to Staffer Case, or is it Staffer and Case? I'm not sure. Case 1. Backstage. Notrick, an assistant from a small town detective agency, receives a letter from the Phenomena Bureau or some Bureau, I don't know, and heads off to London. Ah, it's British, okay. I guess I won't skip the prologue. Don't skip it. Okay. More games need that, to be honest. This game is a mystery game, where you must uncover the tricks behind the number of LK whatever. I hope you read that. London? Yeah, I'm not gonna do the English accent. Or maybe I will. But it's not gonna be accurate. Is this your first time? Excuse me? I was just saying. This is your first time in London, no? It is. Why do you ask? Ha! I knew it. And how is it? How does it feel taking all the London scenery for the first time? Well, it's just as astounding as they said it would be. The buildings, the smoky haze. Though I haven't seen Big Ben. Yes, indeed. She's important, Big Ben is. Wait, Big Ben's a girl? Why the name Ben? Though I'm afraid, young lad, you won't be able to get a good look at her from here around these parts. By the way, that bag sure looks heavy. Planning to be here for a while? I'm here because I received a job offer. I imagine I'll be here until I get fired. Oh, rather young to be working. You must be something else, huh? When I was your age, well, that was at the height of the big war. I mean, back then. I figured taxi drivers in London would be the quiet sort. Did I grab the wrong one? Nah, he grabbed you. What's the name of this new employer of yours? For another shilling, I'll take you right up to the front door of their building. Ah, that's quite alright. In front of the park will be fine. I mean, you're already paying for an expensive cab ride. What's another shilling? Most like yourself visiting London for the first time try to find the way themselves, and before they know it, to find themselves lost in more ways than one, you know. He's pretty much forcing my hand here. If I keep turning him down, he'll just keep pestering me. Well then, I'll place my fate in your knowing hands. The name of the place is... What's the name of the agency? I believe it was written on the letter I received from the man calling himself the Detective Chief Inspector. That's a long title. Oh, you can save in this game? Okay. Save, load, auto skip. Okay, there's a log, your evidence. Okay. Ankimbo. Okay. Case, how have you been? I'm the Englishman who. Okay. Case, how have you been? I'm the Englishman who visited your agency last Easter. Because it's you, I'm sure you'll remember my face. I didn't get to properly introduce myself back then, but my official title is Detective Chief Inspector of a certain government agency. That's a damn long title. The reason I showed my face at the old agency of yours is that I want to recruit you into our Manor Affairs division. I currently live in London, a city where cases that ordinary investigators can't solve happen every single day. Such a place is the perfect environment for a talented lad like yourself to flourish. Notrick, let me be frank with you. I need a person of your talents. On the other side of that coin, you need an environment where you can demonstrate your talents. I even got your boss's permission for this. She opposed the idea at first, but in the end she understood what was good for you. I hope you understand that this is not a chance everyone gets. I'm looking forward to receiving a favorable response to my offer. Sincerely, Detective Chief Inspector Burt, London branch of the Phenomena Bureau. Or Bureau? Baru, I don't know. Bure, yeah, whatever, Bure. Bure, okay. He looks a little depressed, understandably. Someone has posed a question. Find the clue related to the question within the documents, then press Combine Clues. That's a lot of words on the screen. I'm overwhelmed. If at any time you can't remember these steps, click the manual button on the top right. I ain't reading all this shit. What the fuck? Select the clues you wish to use on the enlarged documents, then click the Combined Clues button. Select the documents you'd like to check on the list below to zoom in on the particular document. Choose a clue. No. Hold on. No, I don't. I wanna not select it. How do I? Okay. Is this what I do? Did I do things right? What did I do? Wait, what did I do? Did I click on something? Hey! Oh, whatever. I'm sure there'll be a next time for this. I hope. The Phenomena Bureau. That's a bureau. Whatever. Bureau. I heard people around here call it the Bureau for short. The one fucking word I can't pronounce, and people say that all the time. That's very nice. You know where the Bureau is located, right? If you could take me there, I'd appreciate it. Understood, sir. What's wrong, sir? Something troubling you? No, it's just... You got really polite all of a sudden. Did you just forget to mind your P's and Q's at times? London taxi drivers always cart around their fares as if they were the Queen herself. I think I get it. Funny, really. Right when he heard me say the Bureau, his attitude shifted. The Bureau, according to the rumors I've heard, is the institution's reputation is far from a good one. To come all the way to London after receiving a suspicious letter from such a suspect institution, I must be out of my mind. Yet, to be able to carry out an investigation in a city like this, well, it's been a lifelong goal of mine. But you're a kid, though, or a young adult. We're here, sir. The grey building on the left over there is the London branch of the Bureau. Thank you. You said that'd be 1 shilling. Where'd I put the money I exchanged? You might want to check the front pocket of your bag. The front pocket? Ah, right. It's all right there. How'd you know? Wahaha. Such things shouldn't come as much as a surprise. If you intend to stay in London for long, that is. Huh? Was that supposed to... Have a great day, sir. I do believe you'll find the city isn't half bad as a match for you. What is this lingo? How do you know? He's a thief. Oh, god damn it. Okay then. Oh, it's in the 1960s? Wait a minute. I thought only America uses the year, day, month format. So this game was made in a British setting, made by Americans, I'm guessing, or is it localized for Americans? So this is the bureau. This will be my place of work starting from today. Oh fuck, women. Compared to the investigator's office back home, this place is just floor after floor straight up. If I tried to catch a glimpse of the top, I bet my head would be touching my back. Am I really going to be working at a place like this? It took me days to get here, but suddenly going inside is the last thing I want to do. That woman, is she looking at me? They normally don't do that. To me, anyway. We definitely locked eyes, but she isn't saying anything. Or am I just imagining things? Nope, she's definitely still looking. Should I be the first to speak? No, if she isn't... You may speak. Would you happen to have business with me? Indeed, I do. Then she should be the one to break the ice. I'm waiting for someone, and I do believe that someone to be you. A new recruit from the Akimbo Investigations Agency, known for sticking a fountain pen in his curls, height roughly 165 centimeters, goes by the name Note. Well, something close to that, right? My name's Notre Case. You're a member of the Manor Affairs Division, aren't you? That I am. The name's Pandora Redfins. It's a pleasure to meet you. It's funny because the name was revealed in red, right there, before it was revealed here. So that's very nice, ain't it? No, the pleasure's all mine. Where's the button to hide the HUD? I want to see... nothing. I want to see nothing. I'll pass on the handshake if you don't mind. Huh? Now that I'm thinking about it, I do remember something about the British not shaking hands all that often. Don't take it the wrong way. It's just that I'm really reluctant to coming into physical contact with you in any way. Wow, you're right. I almost did take it the wrong way. I guess you could say I suffer from mysophobia. It's a bit of a bother, but you just have to put up with it. Hey, as long as he gets paid, right? Just have to put up with it. Is it really okay to have a detective who's scared of germs? Have you ever heard of this show called Monk? Where the show was about a detective called Adrian Monk who has OCD, has every freaking phobia under the sun. So many that I'm surprised that one of his phobias is not being under the sun. He has a phobia of heights, elevators, puppets, especially germs. Every time he shakes hands with someone, he needs a wipe, which probably doesn't exist in this universe. Well, enough enough with the introductions. Shall we head inside? You'll have to follow close behind. The burrow's a bit of a maze, and I don't want to have to report a child gone missing. Something odd about this woman. As if, after all these years, I could still get lost. What? Stairs. About that child gone missing. I'm lost. God damn it. Who would make a building like this? No matter where I go, it's the same hallway and the same doors. Plus, there's not a floor plan to be seen. Nah, that's just called lazy drawing. Look at how many colors are present. Gray, dark gray, black, brown. I lost Miss Redfin's right at the entrance, but with this many rooms, how are there exactly 0 other people wandering the halls? Wait a tick! What? No way! Is that a map of the building? Of course, you can't have a building this big without a simple sign pointing the way. Huh? What? Yeah, I don't understand a goddamn thing. But what? What am I seeing here exactly? I'm in England, right? Why isn't this in proper English? Am I the odd man out here? Has my hillbilly upbringing left me unfamiliar with the trends of the big city? It's just a diagram and these are the room labels. But even I don't know what the hell's going on. Whatever. Now at least I have to go back to the entrance. Miss Redfin's will probably be waiting for me there. Plot twist, she is not. Huh? This map. It's here because someone is able to read it, right? Then maybe the writing on here must be a unique code that only the employees here can make sense of. There must be some way for me to figure out where the office of the Manor Affairs Division is. After all, I'm an employee here too now. Gotta save. Okay. Understandable. That's a simple HUD. Let me have a look through my things. Certainly there must be something enclosed in the parcel I received that could be of some use. I need to select the information pointing to the location of the Manor Affairs Division and then choose the place of the information as leading me there, whatever. I think that's too much text for me. If I can connect those two pieces of information, I'll be able to find my answer. Why does this look AI generated? Like the portraits anyway. Oh, time to do something. Oh, I clicked on the combined clues button. Okay. The code on my employee ID badge is formatted in a strikingly similar way to the codes of this map. Also, the name of my department is written right above the code, Manor Affairs Division. Would that make these letters and numbers a unique code assigned to our division? The same code is written on this room of the map. Then maybe that's the Manor Affairs Division. That certainly seems to be where it's pointing me. Seriously, Was the door right in front of me the whole time? I feel like I'm the supporting actor on the new TV show. Well, I guess I should head inside. Excuse me. Well. Okay. Brian. Hello, Brian. How are you? You two look shocked to see him. What were you doing in here before he got here, huh? Is it just the two of you? I'm... Hands in the air! Oh, damn. That is not logical. Okay, maybe to them it is. That's some welcome. So just like that, I found myself here. Makes sense for a rookie. Your accent is rather unique. You're not from around here, are you? Nope, I'm from New Mexico. What? New Mexico? Damn. I worked for a private investigator down there. Huh, New Mexico. Then perhaps you prefer a cup of my finest black tea on ice. Sorry, but could I get a coffee instead of tea? But of course. It's been a while since we brewed it though, so I'm probably gone stale. Let me brew you a new pot. That's alright. Even stale's fine with me. I didn't catch your name. What kind of name is that? Caucasus? Caucasus? Is that a real name? Caucasus Brian, at your service. During our cases, I'm the man in charge of investigating the scene of whatever incident has taken place. Ah, thank you. Detective Brian, how should I put this? I'm sorry to be such a bother, but... could you ask your colleague to, put away her revolver? Ah, this revolver? You don't need to let it worry you. I'm just following protocol. So you're not going to shoot me? The name's Stinus Hervinus. My main charge is interrogations. Just call me Stina. Nice to meet you, Detective Stina. But again, you're not gonna shoot me, right? Would you like the honest answer? No. Sorry to doubt you, but the detective sergeant is back and is able to But until the detective sergeant gets back and is able to confirm your identity, we'll be staying like this. The bureau is strict when it comes to security. More importantly, I hope the coffee is to your liking. In the spectrum of life and death, the taste falls somewhere in the middle. Huh, quite an abstract way of describing it. I actually find the description to be right on the money. So, when does the sergeant come back here? Didn't you meet her outside a short time ago? Ah, fuck. I'm back! God damn it. Miss Redfins? No way. Then by sergeant they mean... Indeed. That's me. I mean, isn't that something she should have led with? You didn't ask. How'd you find your way here? I went out looking for you, but I had no idea you'd find your way here before I could catch up. I found the place by comparing the code of my ID badge to the codes on the building's floor plan. Wait a minute. Why did you just show your badge to them? It has the code of the room on the badge. Just show it to the girl pointing at you. But then again, if you reach into you and then take it out, she might shoot you. Okay, fine. Fair play. Fair play. Your ID badge. Oh, you noticed the department codes, but why are you sipping on that cup of coffee at gunpoint? Bit crowded in it. I was just about to bring that up. Looks like you've been cleared of suspicion. Excuse us for that. Haha, yeah, sorry. We just about held your welcoming ceremony and your farewell ceremony at the same time. Well, there's a joke I can't laugh at. Sarge, this is all sorts of sudden. I haven't heard a word of the new recruit joining us. I only heard word 20 minutes ago myself. From the detective chief inspector, no less. Of course. I wouldn't expect any different. Still, we should be thankful for the extra hands on deck. It's just been the three of us for 2 years now. You've all had a chance to introduce yourselves, right? Our friend Note here is going to join our investigation team, starting from today. It's Notrick. Notrick Case. Right. Noted. With thanks. Call me what you will. Now that I think about it, we haven't heard about the most important thing yet. The most important thing? I'm talking about your skill. What is it? What can you do? My skills? Well, I haven't really learned any special skills. And honestly, this is my first time leaving my hometown. I do have a license to operate heavy machinery. Maybe that'll help. Maybe. You must be joking. Actually, something tells me that might come in handy later on. I guess they wouldn't need that, huh? Heavy machinery. I'm just asking this to be certain, but Mr. Case, are you not a staffer? No, I'm not. What? Is that going to be a problem? I see. Well, it's less of a problem. And more like you're fired. I'm sorry, what? Oh, that was fast. Well, that's the end of the game. Thanks for watching my playthrough of Case and Staffer or whatever. Okay. Shut up, phone. Mana, the substance that twisted the laws governing this world. The strange anomalies that followed in its wake were called miracles in one era and magic in another. In the current era, such events are collectively referred to as phenomena. Very funny, guys. Among these phenomena, the one showing a marked increase in recent days is the mana-wielding humans known as staffers. The staffers are able to wield mana how they please from birth, born with a superpower, if you will. And in London, where you're currently headed, roughly 10% of the population are staffers, making it the city with the highest population of staffers. However, though its hosts are an eclectic mix of people, there is a force that allows London society to continue to function, an agency that manages and controls all phenomena, including those involving staffers. That agency is none other than the Phenomena Bureau, commonly referred to as the Bureau. The Bureau, whatever. Notrick, I know it's in your nature to be unable to leave a riddle unsolved, Someone tried to stop you from going to London. Honestly, should have tried harder. However, a word of caution. You will see things that you've never seen before. And one thing I'm sure, that will include some things you'll wish you'd never seen. Okay. Yeah. Very nice. Well, guess that's that. It's been a while since we had some drama. I wonder if Note's on his boat back home by now. Thanks a lot, bitch. I'm, still right here. So you are. But if you don't hurry, you're going to miss your boat. I'm not going back. Plus, I took a plane here, not a boat. Planes existed? And why? Why are you suddenly firing me? It's just, you're no staffer, so we don't need you. Oh, I get it. Segregation in power. Okay, I see. Sarge, that remark, it's somewhat misleading. Then Brian, you can kick him out. Nicely. Mr. Case, have you heard word of exactly what our Manor Affairs Division does? From what I read in the letter I received, you all get the cases that the normal investigators can't solve. Precisely. There are some amongst the staffers able to take the life of another human without leaving a single scrap of evidence. No matter how hard you try, a normal person could never hope to solve such cases. Cases resolved around phenomena. We call such Manor Affairs. When police realize they have a Manor Affair on their hands, they hand over the jurisdiction to the likes of us. The likes of us? Does that mean you're all... That's right, we're staffers. All three of us. I'm beginning to understand. The Manor Affairs Division is able to solve cases that can't be solved through normal means. In other words, all of you are able to use your supernatural talents to investigate crimes. The phenomena you would label supernatural talents we call skills. Calling it supernatural or magical makes it sound a little cultish, don't you think? Yes, it is cultish. What the fuck do you mean? I see. When she asked about my skill before, that's what she was asking about. You're starting to catch on, huh? No matter how fast your brain might work, or how well you drive heavy machinery, friend, there are just some cases that can't be solved through ordinary means. There are some staffers who could go invisible, others who can teleport. You can't say with confidence that you'd be able to catch such criminals, can you? I know one person who can. I know one who can. Other than this guy, other than you people. Let's just say he's an attorney of the arcane. If you know what I mean, you know? Oh, I see you've made it alright. You made quite the long journey, Mr. Case. Actually, I guess that's Detective Constable Case now. Here's the man who reached out to my old investigations office scouting me out as an addition to his team of detectives, making him the Detective Chief Inspector, sir. Ah, this is our first chance to be able to talk face to face, huh? Good timing, if the chief insists on my being hired on. These people can do nothing to stop his decision. Show these cretins all the unsavory flavors of our capitalistic might, Chief. Seriously, Chief, how dare you show your face after turning our job on his head like this? But of course, I've lost all expectations I ever had of getting any sort of help from you. How about you just retire before things get even uglier? Chief, public opinion of you seems on the level of a coup d'etat. Look at the lot of you. I guess the rookie joining us has got you all worked up. Actually, I was just about to ask your intent with this one. Why exactly did you hire a new detective who's not even a staffer? Sergeant Redfins, are you meaning to say you don't wish to take on Detective Constable Case? That's right. I could have used even the slightest hint of hesitation there. Then let's try this out. You're all going to give Detective Case here a test. A test. If Case passes your little test, you'll let him on the team and accept him as an equal. And of course, if he fails, you could do with him as you please. How's that? Fair. Regarding the contents of said test, is that is that up to me? Sorry, the British is hurting my throat, I mean. And I don't mean it in that way. Do whatever you please. This kid's a genius. I mean, I wouldn't say that. Cena, you and Brian are in the middle of a case, aren't you? Huh? Ah, you're talking about the circus homicide? Hold up. Are you serious right now? That evidence you're telling me about before, show it to note. I'm kind of busy. Looks like you have your work cut out for you. Tell me how it all turns out. Once again, making his escape after giving us a bunch of work to do. All of this is a bit chaotic, but if I pass the test, that means I'll be able to stay on, right? Okay. What's it gonna be, huh? What do I have to do? Before we get to that, take a look at this document for me. What sort of document is this? Who's this a picture of? This is a bureau file. It's a list of each staffer's supernatural abilities, laying out what skill they have. It's one of the documents we use to investigate any sort of phenomena that might happen. Each and every staffer must carry around their bureau file with their identity card. These files are crafted from a material that can't be forged, so if you interpret the information listed here correctly, you can understand what sort of skills these staffers involved in your case may have. The information on this document is about Yulia Geller. She's the person who found the body in the case we're currently investigating, and one of our main suspects. Geller is a clown employed by the Trump by the what? By the what? Am I gonna get arrested for this? Nah, I only have 30 subs. No one knows who the hell I am. I can even just say the N-words. I can even say the N-word, you know? I'm not gonna, okay? I may not be a professional, but I have standards, okay? This is still taking me aback though, what the hell? Geller is a clown employed by the Trump Tower Circus, which is precisely where the murder occurred. This is very... okay. Should I post this online? I know it only has 30 subs, but still. The victim is none other than the ringleader of said circus. His name is Jean Henry Hoden. I'll give you all the details of the case later on, but first, I'd like to continue my explanation of the bureau files. Under the staffer's name, we've got the name of the staffer's skill written out. Geller's skill is what the bureau has named Indiscernible Object Manipulation. What sort of skill is that? The name doesn't really spell out what that entails. According to the statements gathered from those who know her, her skills allow her to manipulate objects through some unseen force. Ah, okay, so like a Jedi. Basically, she's got telekinesis. So, why can't you just write telekinesis? Isn't it somehow more professional to... Do you think it's more professional to describe her skill like this? We'd never do such a thing. And don't you think you're being a little harsh? Shut up, you aimed a gun at my head. His head. There are over 1,000 staffers able to move objects without touching them in London alone. We have to take an academic approach to the naming because filing them all under such overarching words such as telekinesis does nothing to distinguish the subtleties of their skills. We can usually infer what sort of skill a staffer has by the name listed on their file, though there are occasional exceptions, like this one. So if you can't understand for the name of the skill like this one, you won't be able to understand what the staffer's skill is. In cases like this, details from the staffer's skills can be found out through the course of the investigation. Yulia Geller has been using her skill to perform acrobatic stunts at the circus, so it was easy to find out her skill was indiscernible object manipulation equals telekinesis. If that's the case, I'm not sure why you even have these files, but whatever. Then how about we take a look at the bottom part? Threat level. The threat of each staffer is ranked by the risk posed by his or her skill. If they pose no threat, they're labeled unarmed. If the risk of harm is that of an edged weapon, they're labeled Bowie. If they pose the same danger as a small firearm, they're labeled Colts. The threats of their skills are all compared to weapons. Staffers with a high threat level may have some restrictions placed upon them that they could interfere with normal life. How do you pronounce this one? Unarmed Bowie Colt Estienne. Whatever. Estienne. Whatever. I'm just gonna call it the fucking tank. Yulia Geller is rated Colt. Does that mean her skill is really dangerous as someone wielding a pistol? Hey. Imagine throwing a grenade and then she just Jedi throws it back at you, okay? I might argue that she's on the same level as the fucking tank, okay? Imagine shooting a tank shell at her and then she grabs it and then shoves it back at you. You're fucked. You're fucked. Next comes the skills range. This is how far the staffer's skill can reach. 2 meters, goddamn. I mean, you can maximize the range by throwing it by like, maybe you grab it, then you like swirl it around you, and then when it gives enough speed, you just launch it at the guy. In Miss Geller's case, I see she can only manipulate objects that are within 2 meters of her. The catalyst section below shows what the staffer needs to use a particular skill. But in Geller's case, she doesn't need anything for hers, so we'll skip that. Oh, 20 kilos! Damn. I mean, grenades are still lighter, man. And so are guns. Last of all, we have a section to write anything of note about the skill that isn't included in the above sections. The info in this section can vary widely depending on the skill of the person's bureau file. If the skill were about controlling something, you'd have something about that substance that can be controlled. If the skill were about creating something, we have info on what can be created. So shall we wrap up our explanation there? Oh boy. This information seems overly simplified. Aren't there any documents with a little bit more detail on them? There are, but this is the limit to the information we're able to obtain at our current clearance level. Since the investigation department is still classified experimental within the Bureau, we don't have much in the way of clearance. I see. So what's the test that goes along with this? The reason I'm showing you Yulia Geller's bureau file is because this woman is the prime suspect in our investigation thus far. We have 3 reasons for thinking this. Now, let me show you the evidence we have gathered on her, one at a time. You have to look at this evidence and figure out the 3 reasons why we currently suspect Yulia Geller. Got it. You want to find out if I'll be of any help on a real case. What do you think? Up to the task? If I say no, will you switch the test to something else? No. Then I got no choice. Though I didn't really want you to change the test in the first place. Good. Then you're confident. You can use all the confidence to get you back home. But what about the money? So that's an okay from him? Now let's show him this first. Is this a testimony? Miss Geller gave a testimony? The name of the witness is Yulia Geller, and the document seems to be explaining the circumstances of the witnesses finding the body. At first glance, it seems like an ordinary witness statement, but this part... Heartbeat. This column. It says heartbeat. What does that mean? When I see the word heartbeat, I can only think of Persona 4 Golden, that song. Or is it heartbreak? I don't know. Oh, he's pretty sharp, huh? About the abnormal heartbeat column. It gives me a place to check when I detect a change in the witness's heart rate. The witness's heart rate. Much of the evidence collected by the Affairs Division is acquired using the skills of the investigators, and this is a special witness's statement written using my own special skill. My special skill is Precision Vibration Detection. When a potential suspect makes a statement, I use my skill to keep track of their pulse. Using skills to collect evidence and fill out documents. Then, what's it mean when you record that the witness had an abnormal heartbeat? When I detect an abnormal heartbeat, it's for one of 3 reasons. The witness is either in an agitated state, they're talking about something emotional like murder or death, or the witness is lying. I see. So you're like a lie detector? No No. It's more accurate than... I'm way more accurate than those hunk of junk. You shouldn't say such things. Stina has a bit of a standing rivalry with lie detectors. Understandable, you know, it's like artists with AI. Which might be what this game was made with. The portraits, anyway. Do not! That aside, there's one odd part of this witness statement. Find and point out the section that's leading us to suspect her. That's the first part of your test. Okay, let's give it a shot. If they're choosing to show me this document, there must be some falsehood recorded inside her statement. If I pay attention to the times where her heart rate is abnormal, I might be able to find the lie in her statement. However, lying isn't the only reason for the fluctuations of her heart rate, so I gotta be careful. The false parts in her statement and an abnormal heartbeat to prove it. If there's some sort of contradictory information in here, I gotta link those two. Okay, maybe this. Okay, yeah, that was it. Apparently. Why'd you bring coffee to someone at 9? Okay, maybe it's an overnight thing, I don't know. This part of the statement is a bald-faced lie. Oh, that's a quick answer. Shall we have a look? Why exactly do you think that part is a lie? Pathetic. No, it's not like that. You don't know if he just got lucky. You can't pass him until we get a convincing explanation of why. True. If I have to explain my reasoning behind the thought, then I have to save again. The witness statement contains 2 instances of abnormal heartbeats. The second part where she visits the crime scene to bring coffee, and the fourth where she denies committing the murder. If the fourth part denying the murder were the lie, this would be an open and shut case. However, since she used the emotional-laced word kill in the fourth part, there's a high likelihood that the heart rate would spike anyway. In other words, it's hard to figure out the true reason behind the abnormal heartbeat. You detected an abnormal heartbeat, but that doesn't necessarily prove that this part of the statement was a lie. You catch on quick. However, unlike the fourth part of the statement, she doesn't use any sort of emotion-provoking words, and there's no part of it that's worth getting worked up over. I don't know, man. Honestly, if you were to get my testimony on something, I would be scared as shit and my heart rate would be all over the place. I'm just saying. Yet you detected an abnormality in her heart rate, meaning this part of the statement is a lie. In other words, Yulia Geller did not visit the crime scene to bring coffee to the victim. That's quite sus. That's right. You found our answer. Well, I also had my suspicions about Geller's statement and continued questioning the suspect. Here are the results of my interrogation. Another statement. Just from one look at the document, I can see your witness getting very worked up. What the fuck? 3? That's right. When a witness is excited or agitated, I detect strange heartbeats whether the statement is true or not. So we're unable to tell whether the statement is true or not with this document alone. At times like these, we have to bring in some other evidence. So, I think I better take over the explanation from here. Don't go smug just because you beat me. One of the three of us, I'm the runt of the litter. I'm not. How was I smug? Plus, that wasn't something to win or lose over. You already called yourself the runt of the litter, so why not accept it? Pathetic. Shut up! People always pick winners and losers. Hurry up, Brian, and show him the data you got. Alright, I guess I will. I do hate to judge others, but that was a problem I simply couldn't overlook. I do hope you understand. Here you go, Case. Your second test. This must be a photo of the crime scene. The person slumped over the desk must be the victim of the case we're investigating. Also, we're currently saying Yulia Geller's our prime suspect, right? From the picture of the victim, was the cause of death this blow to the head? What's all this green ink though? Those are the pieces of the trace evidence left behind at the scene of the crime. Footprints, fingerprints, scratches, and more. We got all sorts of forensic clues. My skill is to accentuate various clues so that others can easily see what they are. I think there is another name for that. Imperial Arcanum? Wait, is that what it's called? Yeah. Imperial Arcanum, yeah. Using my skill, I can make records of the clues I find on the photos of the crime scene, like this. We call them trace photos. A skill to find clues. Besides just staffers, this might be possible for anyone to do given enough time. Yet perhaps it's not just about finding evidence either. The time the trace evidence was left is written here too. Nice catch. My skill makes clues appear to shift color and brightness depending on how much time has passed. I then analyze all that information and determine when each trace was made or left. So he organizes all the information to produce these trace photos. That's certainly useful. Back to the point. This trace photo contains a piece of information that contradicts another piece of evidence. Let's call that finding that contradiction your second test. Alrighty then. Let's think. The information on this trace photo was found and organized by Detective Brian himself. There could be no mistake on his end. In other words, if a document contains something that contradicts this trace photo, it's the information on the document that's wrong. The information on this trace photo will help us find the lies on other documents. Ah, okay. I've got it. You can take your time if you like. That's quite alright. The document contradicts this trace photo. The document that contradicting this trace photo is the witness statement. Would you like to elaborate on that? In addition to the witness statement Zena got, there's this one part that stands out. It says I had no other reason to visit the scene that day. If Given Miss Geller's agitated state, it's impossible to judge the validity of the statement based on the abnormal heartbeat alone. However, by looking at this trace photo, we can now see that this part of her statement was false. This trace photo clearly shows the footprints Miss Julia Geller left behind. One part is as Miss Geller said. We can see there were footprints left at 9 o'clock. If the statement that she had no other business with the deceased that day were true, there would be the only footprint she left at the crime scene that day. But that's simply not the case. There were another set of footprints left behind at 7:30. One set of footprints at 7:30 and one at 9. Miss Geller visited the scene of the crime twice that day, so her statement that she only visited the single time is clearly a lie. There's your contradiction between the two statements. What do you think? Am I wrong? No, that is indeed the answer. It wasn't the most difficult of problems, but you delved so far into this in such a short time. Yep, now is the final test. After autosaving. As you said, Miss Julia Geller did visit the crime scene at 7:30. We questioned her about it, but she wouldn't say a word. The victim entered the room at 6 o'clock. Since the victim left no footprints leaving the room, we can safely say he was still in the room at 7:30. We don't know exactly what happened inside the room at that time, but it was certainly nothing to write home about. So that's why you all suspect Miss Geller to be the culprit. Well, there's that, but also Miss Julia Geller was the only person who could have committed this crime in the first place. Huh? Here, take another look at the photo. There's no other footprints that approach the victims besides Julia Geller's, right? Yeah, that's clearly the case. So I do remember a set of footprints labeled Houdin. That's the name of the victim. He's the sad sap slumped over his desk in the picture. It's obvious we'd have the victim's footprints in the scene of the crime, right? Yeah, that's right. So let's think this through. Judging from the footprints we have on the record, only 2 people entered the scene of the crime that day. The victim, Jean Henry Houdin, and our suspect, Julia Geller. As you can see from the picture, a bunch of water was spilled at the scene of the crime. Geller stepped in the pool of water before approaching the victim. But why would she risk getting her shoes wet to get behind the victim? Obviously, she's got to get close to whack him on the head. Cena, if you keep going, you'll have nothing for the third test. Dumbass. I sort of got carried away there, but I'll cut it out. Sorry, everyone. I just couldn't rein in these fantastic reasoning skills of mine. So, what's all that mean for my test? Unfortunately, since our... Shut up, phone. Since our investigation is still in progress, we got no more information to show you. So until our investigation continues, we got no choice but to stop the test. What? Sarge, if we may change the subjects for a moment. This case, I don't think it calls for further investigation. What do you mean? At the current juncture, we can say with near certainty that Julia Geller is our culprit, rather than press forward with further investigation. Let's hand this off to the police and turn our focus on our other cases. Oh, I definitely agree with you on that. We're practically drowning in cases we haven't even touched yet. Well, I can't agree with you on all that. It's quite natural to point the finger at Yulia Geller as your prime suspect, but I think Detective Sina overlooked a piece of information during her explanation of her third reason for suspecting Miss Geller. Huh? What? You mean my rationale wasn't spot on? She overlooked something. What might that be? She did. Generally speaking, her logic would be correct, but this is Yulia Geller we're speaking of. You must say that Sina's logic doesn't hold water. So you found a hole in her logic. But would you mind explaining what that might be? The tape recorder has everything we said just a moment ago recorded on it. Print out the part that stands out to you. Oh, shoot. After you print it out, point out which parts of the transcripts seem odd. So just press this print button. Okay. So I select the part of the printed transcript that stands out and use it in connection with another piece of evidence. If I want to defend the argument, I'll say I support, but if I oppose the argument, I'll pick oppose and connect the piece of evidence that supports my opposition. Okay. Not complicated at all. Oh, okay. That was actually it. It's about Yulia Geller risking her shoes getting wet in order to get close to the victim. You thought the reasoning she might do that was to whack him on the head, right? Right. If there's a puddle on the floor, you'd normally just take the long way around it, no? But her getting close to the victim is something we can't really explain without assigning the action to some sort of special reason. Right, I agree. However, she might not have approached the victim with the intent of killing him. Why are you basing that assumption on? The suspect's skill. Her skill? Indiscernible object manipulation. It's a rather peculiar name, but you said it's basically just the Force, right? She's able to use it up to 2 meters away. For a person with the ability to wield such a skill, would she even have to approach the victim to hit him on the head? Yeah. As you all said, such circumstantial evidence regarding the suspect approaching the victim would only add more suspicion to the accused, under normal circumstances. However, that's not the case with Yulia Geller. Okay, this soundtrack is pretty good. Okay, the violin and piano and acoustic guitar are my top 3 favorite pieces of instruments of all time. And it's got an accordion too. Honorable mention. Okay. Okay, just 5 more seconds. Okay, come on. However, that's not the case with Yulia Geller. Our suspect wouldn't need to get that close to the victim. You're right! With her powers of telekinesis, she wouldn't have needed to approach her victim to hit him on 1,000 times! I don't think she'd need to hit him that many times. She had no reason to approach the victim, yet she did anyway. Assuming Miss Geller is the culprit, it's a rather unnatural action for her to carry out. As such, things stand, we cannot conclude that Miss Geller is our culprit. Still, there is no way we can say for sure that our culprit used any skills. Maybe they forewant skills in favor of any ordinary blow. Yet, we can't say for certain that no skills were used either. Plus, you said the floor was wet, right? With wet shoes, I have no idea what sort of footprints you'd be leaving behind. In fact, Yulia Geller's footprints being left at the crime scene led both Detective Thena and Brian to suspect Geller. Would a person looking to commit a crime take that risk? Especially if she had the means of killing her victims without getting close to him. It would be more odd for her to not use her skill. You know, that title drop, I don't know what it's called. Kind of reminds me of Finn and Jake saying mathematical and shit like that in Adventure Time. At least in the first season. Which was the GOAT. Okay, I don't care what anyone says. I miss when Adventure Time used to have the title, you know, like the Adventure Time, and then the sword goes to the title. I miss that a lot. There are quite a number of staffers able to commit a crime without entering a room. It's true that Yulia Geller is still suspect, but as long as there are doubts to be raised, I believe this case must remain open. I think you're right about that. If Geller wasn't our culprit, we'd be in a real pickle. I apologize for having brought it up. Recently, the amount of cases assigned to our department has increased remarkably. I must have grown impatient. We needn't worry about that now though, right? After all, we got another hand on deck right now. Sergeant, does that mean... Honestly, I was thinking I'd failed you and sent you home no matter how you did on the test. Snake. However, you've grown on me a little. That may be true for me, but are there any other objections from you two? He spotted a flaw in our logic. I see no reason to object to his joining with us. Here, would you like to have a leg to stand on if we did? Pandy, do you know our reasoning in this was so far off? Pandy? Well, it is sort of a basic line of reasoning in a manner affairs investigation. So much of that ignorance of the fact borders on moronic. I apologize for being so much of a dimwit that I missed something so simple. I'm so ashamed of myself. I don't mean to cast blame. After all, even the best investigators sometimes end up hooked by the wrong hypothesis. The important thing is that we correct the faults in our logic. This is just a theory of mine. A game theory! Thanks for watching. God damn it. But what's more important than finding the right way immediately is the ability to turn around when you're on the wrong path. And Note just proved that he had that ability. So, we're a little late in saying this, but welcome to the Manor Affairs Division, Note. No need for the pleasantries, the pleasure's all mine. Though you're right to say it was a bit late. Well then, we'll have our welcome party later. For now, shall we get ready to head out? Head out? Where to? Where do you think? To continue the investigation. We're off to the crime scene. We're off to the scene of the crime. Trump Tower Theater. I can't get over that. Guys, why? Guys. well, that's it for today's playthrough of Staff Case. Or Staffer and Case, I'm not sure. Gotta check the title of the game again. You know, I kind of like the gameplay of this, to be honest. I must say the way you piece things together for clues is much better than most other games, because I think I played a game called I forgot what it was called. After Dinner Alibi or Alibi After Dinner Party or something. It was just Phoenix Wright, you know, not very special. And then I played this other game called Tyrion Cuthbert. I mean, it's a lawyer game, so that one makes more sense to be close to Phoenix Wright. So, you know. But, you know, it feels nice to play a detective game where you actually do detective stuff instead of a lawyer doing detective stuff. And actually feel like being a detective, like pinning clues, finding contradictions, a way a detective would. It feels great. Now, I must say, the portraits feel AI generated. I don't know why, just does. But everything else is very stylized. I wish the characters have the style of the background, because the background has such a unique style, but the portraits feel AI generated. I don't know why. But yeah. That's really all I have to say. The music got average until shit got down. But that's usually how it is. It's not like Tyrion Cuthbert where it blew me away because the soundtrack is really, really good, but it's good enough, I guess. Anyway, that's all for now, you know. I already spent like 1.5 hours on this. Anyway, if you want to see more, you know what to do, alright? Just keep watching. Anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for watching my playthrough of Staffer and Case. And if you like what you see, stay tuned and stay awesome. Good night.